You've worked hard to reclaim your peace. You've embraced the silence, focused on rebuilding yourself, and found strength in the stillness. Just as you're beginning to truly savor this new, found equilibrium, her message appears. It might be as simple as a casual "hey," or something laced with deeper emotions. And now the moment of decision arises. Should you respond, or should you let the silence speak for itself? But this isn't just about a text. It's about something far more significant. Your self-respect, your boundaries, and the undeniable value of knowing your worth. Every choice you make now will reflect the person you've become. In this moment, you don't just need advice. You need clarity, the kind that only timeless, Stoic wisdom can offer today. I'll walk you through this decision step by step, showing you how to stay grounded, protect your peace, and make a choice that aligns with your highest self. Let's dive in. No, one pause before you react. Before you let your fingers start typing or let your emotions steer the wheel, take a moment, seriously pause. That pause isn't just a delay, it's a declaration of control. Silence is powerful, and it's not just about the effect it has on her. It's also about what it does for you. Think about it: when we react impulsively, when we're led by fleeting emotions, we give up clarity, and clarity is the foundation of wise decisions. Picture this: a Stoic philosopher in ancient Rome receives a letter. Do you think he'd rush to respond, letting his emotions dictate his actions? Absolutely not. He'd pause. He'd think. He'd separate what's within his control from what's not. That's the mindset you need here. When she reaches out, take a deep breath. Step back and ask yourself what you truly want. Not just in the heat of this moment, but for your future self. It's tempting, isn't it, that first instinct to jump in, to respond, to reestablish the connection. But pause and consider what's driving that urge. Is it the need to feel wanted again? Or is it truly aligned with your values and goals? Responding impulsively might feel good for a second, but is it the decision that best serves your long-term self-respect and peace of mind? Let's say she sends you a message. "Hey, I've been thinking about you." It's simple but loaded. Your emotions might flare up. Relief, curiosity, maybe even excitement. But before you type a word, channel that inner Stoic. Read the message. Then set your phone down. Give yourself time to reflect. Why is she reaching out now? What does this mean for you? And what do you genuinely want from this interaction? Is this a door worth reopening? Or is it better left closed? This pause isn't weakness. It's strength, it's self-discipline. By not reacting immediately, you send a powerful signal to her, yes. But more importantly, to yourself. You remind yourself that you're not at the mercy of external events. You're not here to be anyone's fallback option or emotional safety net. Your life, your time, and your peace of mind are far too valuable for that. Now let's get real. Silence isn't just about withholding a response. It's about reclaiming your power. When you respond impulsively, you hand over the reins of your emotions. But when you pause, reflect, and act with intention, you're showing that you're the one in control. And trust me, that kind of control is magnetic. It commands respect. So should you keep ignoring her? Maybe, maybe not. The real answer doesn't lie in her message, but in your values and intentions. Is responding what's best for you? Or is staying silent the choice that aligns with your inner peace and self-respect? Just like a Stoic, your goal isn't to be swayed by external noise, but to remain anchored in your own truth. Take your time, let the pause work for you. In that space, you'll find your answer and your power. No to why is she reaching out? You might think, does she feel guilty for how things ended? Is she just lonely, or does she genuinely miss me? These thoughts can easily take over your mind, leading you down a rabbit hole of speculation. But here's the truth. Trying to guess her motivations is like chasing shadows. You'll never fully know what's in her heart or mind, unless she lays it bare, and even then. People often don't understand their own intentions. This is where the wisdom of Stoicism shines. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Her reasons, her timing, her feelings, these are all beyond your reach and outside your influence. What is within your grasp is how you respond. The choice of whether to let the situation disrupt your inner peace or handle it with clarity and composure is entirely yours. So, instead of getting caught up in the why of her message, shift your attention to what it means for you. What does her reaching out bring into your life? Is this an opportunity to reconnect in a meaningful way? Or is it simply a test of the boundaries you've set for yourself? Think about it. Have you truly healed, or are you still in a vulnerable place where hearing from her stirs old emotions that aren't fully processed? Let's say she sends a casual "Hey, how have you been?" after weeks of no contact. If you're in a calm, clear-headed place, you might see her message for what it is, an opening for communication. But if you're still carrying unresolved feelings, it's easy to read too much into it and let your emotions take over. This is why it's crucial to pause before responding. Ask yourself, does engaging with her serve my peace of mind, or does it risk pulling me back into a situation I've worked hard to move past? Stoicism teaches us to approach situations with reason rather than impulse. Imagine you're a rock standing firm against the waves of the sea. Her message might feel like a wave crashing into you, but you don't have to be swept away. Reflect before reacting. Does answering her message align with your values and goals, or would it compromise the inner balance you've been striving for? Sometimes, maintaining your silence isn't about ignoring her. It's about respecting the boundaries you've established for yourself. Silence can be a form of strength, a way to honor your progress and protect your peace. Other times, a response might feel right if it aligns with your sense of clarity and self-respect. The key is that the choice should come from you, not from a place of guessing or reacting to her intentions. So if she reaches out, don't rush to respond or overanalyze her words. Take a deep breath, reflect, and ask yourself, is this the path I wanted to take? Remember, your peace of mind is worth protecting, no matter how tempting it might be to dive back into the unknown. Now I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever found yourself in a similar situation where someone reached out unexpectedly and you had to decide whether to respond or hold your ground? How did you approach it? Or if this resonates with you, simply type "My peace comes first" in the comments to remind yourself and others that your inner balance is always worth protecting. Let's keep the conversation going below. No. 3. Your emotional state matters. Take a moment to ask yourself, are you in a good place emotionally? Can you handle this interaction without slipping back into old patterns or reopening wounds that you've worked so hard to heal? These are questions that demand honest reflection. If her message stirs up feelings of doubt, hurt, or confusion, it's worth pausing to consider. What's truly best for you in this moment? Seneca once wrote, if you want to be calm, reject turmoil. Think about that. If her message disrupts your inner peace, responding might not be the wisest choice. The Stoics teach us that peace of mind is something to protect fiercely, not something to gamble with for the sake of temporary validation or closure. Imagine you've spent weeks working on yourself, rebuilding your confidence, rediscovering what makes you happy, and learning to stand firm in your values. And now one text from her risks pulling you back into a place you've worked so hard to leave behind. Maybe her message is genuine, or maybe it's a test. But the question is not about her intentions. It's about your readiness. Are you strong enough to respond without compromising the emotional stability you've built? For example, her message says, "I've been thinking about you a lot lately." It's tempting to reply, to dive into the possibilities of what she means. But if this message ignites feelings of hope, that could lead to disappointment. The cost might be too high. Instead, picture yourself as a Stoic in this moment, calm, composed and grounded. What would you prioritize? Your inner peace or the fleeting satisfaction of answering her? There's power in silence, especially when it's a silence born from strength, not weakness. By not responding, you're showing yourself and her that you value your peace of mind more than the need to explain yourself or seek closure. Silence can often say more than words ever could. Remember, choosing not to respond isn't about punishing her. It's about protecting yourself. It's about acknowledging that your emotional well-being comes first, as it should. If you feel truly ready, grounded and unaffected by the outcome, then perhaps a response could be a meaningful step forward. But if her message shakes you even slightly, let the wisdom of the Stoics remind you to guard your calm. Your peace of mind isn't negotiable, and you shouldn't let anyone, no matter how much they meant to you, disrupt the stability you've worked so hard to achieve. No, for is silence still your best answer? Silence is one of the most underrated tools in any relationship dynamic, and if you've been using it wisely, you've likely started to see its power. Let's think about this for a moment. If ignoring her has given you the time and space to rebuild your confidence, refocus on your goals, and reclaim your sense of self, it's worth asking, what would breaking that silence really achieve? Will responding bring clarity, or will it reopen old wounds that you've worked so hard to heal? Stoicism offers us some valuable guidance here. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." In this context, bravery can mean having the strength to embrace silence, even when responding feels tempting. Choosing not to react isn't about avoidance. It's about reclaiming your freedom. Freedom from unnecessary drama, emotional turbulence, or the need to justify yourself. By holding your silence, you assert your boundaries with quiet confidence, demonstrating that your peace of mind is more important than any fleeting moment of engagement. This deliberate choice shows strength, not weakness, and reflects your commitment to maintaining control over your inner world. Let's say she reaches out to you after a period of silence. Maybe it's an apology, maybe it's something casual to test the waters, or maybe it's even an attempt to pull you back into a familiar pattern. Before you respond, take a step back and ask yourself, has her reaching out truly changed anything? Has she acknowledged the reasons you needed space in the first place? Or does this feel more like a way to soothe her own discomfort with your absence? Silence can create space not just for you to grow, but also for her to reflect on her own behavior and intentions. An example might help. Imagine you've been ignoring her after a messy breakup or a fight where she crossed a boundary you set. During that silence, you've started to feel stronger. You've been hitting the gym, spending time with friends, or diving into a new project that excites you. Now she sends you a late-night message saying, "I miss you," it's tempting to reply, "Isn't it? But think about it. Does this message address what went wrong? Or is it simply her way of testing if she still has access to you?" Responding might feel good in the moment, but would it align with the progress you've made? Stoicism teaches us that we should act with reason, not emotion. Choosing not to respond doesn't mean you're being cold or cruel. It's a deliberate decision to honor your journey and protect the progress you've made. It's about remembering that your peace of mind is worth more than the fleeting validation of a reply. Ultimately, the choice is yours, and it should be one that aligns with your values and your growth. If you do choose to respond, do it because it feels right for you, not out of guilt, fear, or a desire to appease her. And if you choose to maintain your silence, know that this isn't weakness. It's strength, it's wisdom. And sometimes it's the clearest way to communicate exactly where you stand. What about you? Have you ever found that silence spoke louder than words in your own experiences? How did it shape the outcome? Share your story in the comments below. Or if you're not sure what to say, just type "silence is strength" to let us know you're embracing this principle. Your insights could inspire someone else on their journey. No. 5. Responding without losing ground. If you decide to reply, approach it with clarity, confidence, and composure. Think of your words as tools, not weapons or shields, just simple, effective tools to express your truth. Keep your message clear, concise, and neutral. Resist the urge to over-explain or dive into emotional territory. Remember what the Stoics teach us: let your words be few and meaningful. You're not here to win her over or justify yourself. You're here to act in alignment with who you are. Responding from a place of calm, self-control communicates strength. It shows that you're operating from a position of emotional abundance, not scarcity. Let's put this into perspective with an example. Say she sends you a message like, "Hey, I've been thinking about you. How are you?" The temptation might be to overanalyze every word, to wonder if this is some kind of olive branch, or if she's testing the waters. But instead of letting those thoughts spiral, focus on your response or the lack of it. A neutral, composed reply might look like, "I'm doing well, thanks for checking in. Hope you're doing okay too." It's polite, balanced, and leaves no room for misinterpretation. You're not chasing, you're not overly invested. You're simply standing in your truth. Now, what if you decide not to respond at all? That too can be a powerful choice. Stoicism teaches us to focus only on what is within our control, and her reasons for reaching out are beyond it. What is in your control is whether engaging in the conversation aligns with your principles and serves your emotional well-being. If it doesn't, if responding would lead you down a path of overthinking or reopen old wounds, then silence can be your strongest move. Silence isn't weakness. It's often a declaration of strength. It says, "I'm at peace, and I don't need to disrupt that for anyone." By acting with calm detachment, you not only protect your peace, but also reinforce your own sense of self-worth. You send a message to her, and more importantly, to yourself, that you are whole on your own. You're not seeking external validation because you know your value isn't dependent on her attention or approval. Ask yourself this: does responding align with my values? Will this interaction add to my life, or am I engaging just to fill a temporary void? Whatever choice you make, let it come from a place of strength, dignity, and self-respect. The Stoics remind us that the best life is one lived with intention, rooted in our principles, whether she's in your life or not. You are steady, you are grounded, and you are enough. This is your story, write it with wisdom and grace. And let every word or silence reflect the person you've worked so hard to become. That's the power of true strength. That's the essence of Stoicism. No. 6. Testing the waters. Her reaching out doesn't automatically mean she deserves a place. Back in your life, pause for a moment and think, what does this really mean? Is she reaching out because she genuinely values and respects you? Or is it just her way of testing the waters, looking for reassurance or easing her own discomfort? As a Stoic, your responsibility isn't to her emotions. It's to your principles and the life you're building. This isn't about being cold or dismissive. It's about protecting your peace and maintaining the standards you've worked hard to set. Ask yourself, does her message reflect the kind of relationship I'm striving for? Does it align with the respect, trust, and consistency I expect from someone in my life? A Stoic man doesn't compromise his principles for a fleeting moment of comfort or the temporary validation of attention. Think of your values as the compass that guides your journey. Just like a ship stays its course, regardless of rough seas or sudden gusts of wind, your decisions should stay true to the direction you've set for your life. Imagine she texts you saying, "I miss you," on the surface. Those words might feel good. They might even spark hope. But pause and look deeper. What's driving that message? If her past actions showed inconsistency, disrespect, or lack of effort, does this text signal true change? Or is it simply an emotional reflex on her part? A Stoic approach doesn't ignore those questions. It encourages you to evaluate the situation calmly and rationally, resisting the pull of impulsive emotions. This isn't about ignoring her out of anger or bitterness. It's about safeguarding your progress and your peace of mind, choosing not to respond or responding with thoughtful restraint doesn't mean you're slamming the door shut forever. It means you're taking the time to decide whether this interaction aligns with the man you're becoming. A Stoic man understands the power of patience and perspective. He doesn't rush into decisions just to soothe the moment of vulnerability. Remember, strength lies in your ability to step back and choose wisely. You are not defined by how quickly you respond or how much you're willing to bend to someone else's needs. You're defined by your ability to stay true to yourself, even when it's difficult. When she reaches out, don't let the weight of the moment control you. Let your principles guide you. If her actions don't honor the standards you've set, it's okay to take a step back. Your values are the foundation of your decisions, not fleeting emotions or external pressures. Be thoughtful, be steady, and above all, remember, your worth isn't determined by someone else's attention. It's determined by the respect you hold for yourself and the life you're building. If you've made it this far, it's clear that you're committed to understanding your worth and building a life rooted in respect, principles, and emotional strength. That's a journey not everyone has the courage to take. Now we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this topic? How do you handle moments when someone from your past reaches out? Share your insights in the comments below. Or if you prefer, simply type 1. Choose my peace to affirm your commitment to protecting your progress and staying true to your values. Your journey inspires others. Let's keep the conversation going. No. 7. The balance between forgiveness and boundaries. Forgiveness is indeed a powerful act, but let's pause for a moment and talk about what it truly means. Forgiveness isn't about erasing what happened or pretending the hurt didn't exist. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of resentment. It's about reclaiming your peace of mind, not handing someone else a free pass to re-enter your life without question. Seneca said to forgive is to set a prisoner free, and to discover the prisoner was you. The prisoner here isn't her. It's you. Forgiving her releases the anger, disappointment, or frustration you've been carrying. It's a gift you give yourself to move forward, but it doesn't mean you lower your guard or abandon the standards you've set for your life. This is where boundaries become essential. When someone leaves your life or breaks your trust, the space you create isn't just a void. It's a safeguard for your emotional well-being. Boundaries are a reflection of the respect you have for yourself. They're not walls meant to punish others. They're guideposts that protect the peace you've worked hard to cultivate. If she reaches out, ask yourself, what has changed? Has she demonstrated genuine growth? Or is this just a temporary moment of regret? Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our actions, our emotions, and our responses. You can't control her intentions, but you can control whether you allow her back into your life on your terms. If you choose to respond, do so with clarity and self-respect. If you choose to maintain your silence, let it be a decision rooted in wisdom, not bitterness. Forgiveness then is about you, not her. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you, while holding on to the lessons you've learned. Remember, to forgive doesn't mean to forget your worth or to compromise the values that keep you grounded. It's a path to your growth and a testament to your resilience. Whether or not you respond, let your actions reflect the respect and care you have for yourself. No, 8. When the past becomes a distraction. It's natural to feel a flood of emotions when she reaches out after a period of silence. Maybe it stirs up old memories, those long conversations, the laughs you shared, or even the arguments that still feel unresolved. You might catch yourself replaying what went wrong, or second-guessing whether your silence was the right move. But here's something worth remembering: the past is set in stone. No amount of overthinking or rehashing will rewrite what's already happened. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This is your chance to embody that wisdom. Her reaching out doesn't have to be a roadblock or a cause for confusion. It can be an opportunity to grow stronger, more centered, and more in control of your emotions. Think about this moment as a reflection of the present, not a shadow of the past. Why did you choose silence in the first place? Was it to set boundaries, to focus on yourself, to reclaim your peace, whatever the reason? Honor it. Don't let the temptation to revisit old habits or unresolved feelings derail the progress you've made. For example, if she's reaching out with casual messages or trying to rekindle something, take a moment to reflect. Is she genuinely addressing the issues that lead to the distance? Or does this feel more like her trying to test the waters of your attention? If it's the latter, responding without thought could reopen wounds or undo the space you needed to heal. Sometimes the most stoic act is to stay the course, to prioritize your inner stability over fleeting emotions when the past calls. Remember, you don't have to answer right away or even at all. Every situation is unique, but the key lies in your intention. Are you acting out of clarity and self-respect, or are you letting nostalgia and fear drive your decisions? Stoicism teaches us to separate what we can control from what we cannot. You can't control her intentions, but you can control how you respond, or if you respond at all. The best gift you can give yourself In moments like these is time and space to reflect. Does her reaching out align with the direction you want your life to go? Or is it just a detour that threatens to take you off your path, whatever you decide? Let it come from a place of calm confidence, not emotional turbulence, and remember, silence isn't just an absence of words. It's a powerful choice to protect your peace. How do you navigate moments like these, when the past comes knocking? Have you found ways to stay grounded and true to yourself, despite the pull of old memories or emotions? Share your thoughts in the comments, or simply type "stay the course." If this resonates with you, your perspective might be just what someone else needs to hear today. No. 9. The power of choosing detachment. Detachment isn't about being cold or heartless. It's not about ignoring someone to win or make them feel bad. Detachment is about protecting your peace. It's about creating a space in your life where external events, like that unexpected message from her, don't shake your foundation or disrupt your inner calm. Picture it like this: you're the eye of a storm. Everything around you might be chaotic, spinning or uncertain, but at your core, you remain calm, centered, and unshaken. Now I know that's easier said than done, especially if her reaching out stirs up feelings you've been trying to let go of. But this is where the wisdom of Stoicism comes in. A Stoic man doesn't cling to outcomes or allow his emotions to dictate his decisions. He values his inner peace above all else. Think about that for a moment. If you're always reacting to what others do, whether it's her texting you out of the blue or pulling away, you're giving away your power. Detachment is your way of reclaiming that power. But here's an important point. Detachment isn't indifference. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you've chosen to prioritize yourself. Let's say she reaches out after weeks of silence. Instead of immediately responding out of hope, anger, or even relief, you pause. You ask yourself, does engaging with her serve me? Does it align with the boundaries I've set? That pause, that moment where you choose not to react emotionally, is where your strength lies. Imagine you've spent weeks rebuilding yourself. After she walked away, you've been focusing on your goals, your passions, and your peace of mind. Suddenly she sends a simple "hey." What do? The old. You might have jumped at the chance to reconnect, hoping it meant something more. But now, with this new sense of detachment, you see her message for what it is: an external event. It doesn't define you, and it doesn't require you to sacrifice the progress you've made. A true Stoic knows that not every action demands a reaction. Sometimes silence is the most powerful response, not as a game or a tactic, but as a statement that your peace is non-negotiable. Detachment then is not about ignoring her out of spite. It's about choosing what aligns with your values. And growth, it's about saying, I matter more than this fleeting moment. So if she reaches out, ask yourself, does responding honor the man you're becoming? Or does it risk pulling you back into a place of uncertainty? Detachment gives you the clarity to make that choice. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And remember, prioritizing yourself isn't selfish. It's essential. Keep that storm calm. My friends, stay centered. Stay strong. No, 10 your path forward. Whether you respond or not, remember that the ultimate goal is your growth and happiness. Stoicism teaches us that fulfillment comes from within, not from others. Focus on your goals, your values, and your peace. A strong man doesn't seek validation from someone else's message. He finds purpose in his actions and confidence in his journey. Whatever you choose, Make sure it aligns with the man you're becoming. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." If responding feels like giving away that power, if it stirs up old doubts, wounds, or insecurities, then perhaps silence is your best answer. It's not about playing games or trying to prove a point. It's about protecting the foundation of your growth. Now let's consider another perspective. If you choose to reply, do it with purpose. Avoid diving headfirst into old habits or unresolved issues. Is simple. Neutral response can convey that you're in control of your emotions and your narrative. For instance, replying with something like, "I'm doing well, thanks for reaching out," can set a boundary while maintaining respect for yourself. The key here is not to let the conversation derail you from the progress you've made. The truth is, her reaching out isn't the test. It's your reaction that defines the moment. If you're ignoring her, do so with clarity, not bitterness. If you choose to engage, make sure it's on your terms, not as a knee-jerk reaction to her message. Either way, your growth, peace, and self-respect should remain at the center of your decision. So take a deep breath and trust yourself. Remember, you're not the same person she left behind. You're stronger now, wiser. You've been building a life rooted in purpose, not fleeting emotions, whether you reply or not. Let your choice reflect the man you are becoming. Resilient, calm, and unapologetically grounded in his worth. As we come to the end of this video, let's take a moment to reflect on the lessons we've explored. When she reaches out, the real challenge isn't in her message. It's in how you choose to respond. Whether you reply, maintain silence, or set boundaries, the key is to act from a place of strength, self-awareness, and respect for the progress you've made. This is about protecting your peace, valuing your growth, and staying true to the person you're becoming. Remember, silence isn't just an absence of words. It's a declaration of self-respect and control. It shows that you're not ruled by external events or fleeting emotions, and if you do decide to respond, let your words reflect your clarity and purpose. Every decision you make should align with the values you've built and the life you're working toward. The wisdom of Stoicism reminds us that our power lies in controlling our own actions and reactions. You can't dictate her intentions or her timing, but you can choose how to handle the moment. This isn't about winning or losing. It's about standing firm in your worth and refusing to compromise your peace for temporary satisfaction. You've come too far to let one message throw you off your path. Let this moment be a reminder of your resilience. Whether you choose silence, a neutral response, or even a heartfelt conversation, make sure it's guided by your principles, not impulsive emotions. Growth is not about avoiding challenges. It's about facing them with wisdom, composure, and a deep sense of who you are. Thank you for spending your time with me today. If this video resonated with you, please take a moment to like it. Your support helps this message reach others who might need it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your biggest takeaway in the comments below, or let me know how you've handled similar situations. Your experiences matter and could inspire someone else. Before you go, check out the recommended videos on your screen now. They're designed to help you navigate relationships, find clarity, and strengthen your emotional resilience. Remember, this journey is yours, and every choice you make is a step toward becoming the best version of yourself. Stay strong, stay focused, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.